Adults know what slavery really involved. It involved some of the worst examples of depriving people of humanity in our world. They insult us in an attempt to gaslight us, and we will not have it.
The vice president passionately addressing new public school standards in Florida, which are sparking heavy backlash. A White House official confirming to NBC News she personally made the decision to take that last-minute trip to Jacksonville. Starting this fall, public school students in the state will be taught a revised social studies curriculum, which includes controversial language that some Black people benefited from slavery because it taught them useful skills. It's the latest and most extreme attack on the classroom that has come to define the tenure of Governor Republican presidential candidate Ron DeSantis. Vice President Harris personally deciding to take a last-minute trip on Friday upon getting word of this story, according to the White House official. The trip was, quote, about calling out what is happening in clear terms. Joining us to discuss this is Florida Democratic State Senator Shevrin Jones. Senator, thank you for being with us. You know, this really started as a fight against critical race theory. Then we saw these advanced placement African-American studies courses get banned in January. Now this. What has been the reaction in your state?
Yeah, first, thank you for having me, Lindsay. Well, the reaction has been consistent as it has been over the past 6 months. People are upset. People are still making it clear that we need to teach accurate history. This isn't just about the rewriting of history. Florida is really trying to wipe away anything that contradicts the carefully crafted narrative that DeSantis is creating, and that includes Black history. These policies take Florida several steps backwards by whitewashing history, and the changes made the other day will have students believe that there was some sort of silver lining to slavery, and it's not. And let's be clear, slavery was not a benefit to the enslaved, and that is simply not open for debate. There is no amount of historical revisionism that can change that. There was nothing right about lynching. There was nothing right about the raping of women. There was nothing right about sitting babies outside next to a lake for alligators to get them. There's no benefit to that. It was torture.
Yeah, no silver lining. DeSantis had the opportunity to clarify these new standards on a campaign stop in Utah. Let's listen.
Well, you should talk to them about it. I mean, I didn't do it, and I wasn't involved in it. But I think what they're doing is I think that they're probably going to show some of the folks that eventually parlayed, being a blacksmith into doing things later in life.
I mean, does it sound to you like he's trying to sort of play both sides of the coin? He's trying to distance himself and say, I wasn't a part of that. But at the same time, he doesn't appear to have much of a problem with these ideas being taught to kids.
Lindsay, you can't distance yourself from something that you have totally jumped head first into the water in, and you've been doing it consistently for so long. Ron DeSantis and the Republican Party have set Florida back years and are now actively spreading a fake narrative about actual historical events to our children, all because quote unquote woke is bad. Never mind the fact that those calling for this nonsense can't even define the word woke. And I'll end with this. It's not like the Florida education system has any shortage of problems to solve. Florida is struggling with a massive teacher retention issue. Simply put, according to the Florida Education Association, there were 5,294 teacher vacancies in January 2023. I can guarantee you that number is much higher today.
So that said, Senator, you've been really vocal that you feel like all these culture war national issues are a distraction from what's impacting Floridians. You mentioned the teacher shortage. I mean, home insurance companies are pulling out of the state. What concerns do you have about his running for president while he's governor?
That he has totally ignored Floridians. There are 22 million people who live in this state. We have a housing crisis that we're dealing with. We have a house and home insurance crisis that we're dealing with. We still have students who are still dealing with the COVID slide. The governor is going across the country and he's running for president. He has totally ignored the 22 million people. That's not a Democrat or Republican issue. That is a people issue that we're dealing with right now. And people are struggling. People's pockets are what's struggling. People's pocketbooks and their pockets is what's at hand right now. And the governor has ignored it.
Florida State Senator Shevrin Jones will have to leave it there. Thank you for your time.